Yo guys, Augiesaint here and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and we have been cooking with Lynn. As you guys can see in the background, she is just obliterating everything. So I want to bring this first version of the build to you guys just so it's out there, because I usually take too long with these and I try and perfect them before I drop a build video. But I thought I'm going to do this in stages since it does take quite a while to grind up everything. So I'll show you guys what I'm working with right now, as she does a crazy amount of damage, and then once we actually ascend to the next level, we can go ahead and add one more demon wedge to it. I'm going to add another sanity / efficiency mod to it. So pretty much make it so she just have permanent uptype of her mass damage skill. But usually when you're running around doing the missions, I don't run out of sanity either because of a really good demon wedge I'm going to share with you guys in this video. But before we get into it, if you guys are enjoying the comment, make sure to hit that thumbs up button as well as subscribe. Helps me out a ton and it keeps you guys up to date on all our upcoming Duet Night Abyss videos. So without further ado, let's hop straight into the build. So having a look at our Lynn, I'll show you guys the stats that we have managed to get on her. We have 634 bio attack. We've got a decent amount of HP. Our sanity is sitting at 240, so that's pretty good. We have 224 skill damage. This is really high. And we also do have skill duration and skill efficiency. And you might be wondering, why do we have skill duration? We actually have duration because it does affect her massive ability, the gunpowder revelry. If you go over to the attribute details, you can see the sanity cost does go down by getting duration. And obviously skill efficiency. Skill efficiency does affect the initial cost to activate it, because it costs 9 sanity to activate it. And then it costs 13 sanity per second to actually maintain it. That's another thing, is you can also shoot while in there. You don't have to like feather your shooting. It's better to actually keep shooting it because you do get increased attack speed per stack when you're shooting. So it would actually be better to just, if you go into it, keep shooting. If you like just shoot a little bit, it's not going to reduce the cost of how much sanity you use, because you don't use sanity depending on how often you shoot. It's literally just going to start draining it as soon as you activate it. But that's why we do have some duration on it. And then we do have 18% morale over there, because you actually get increased damage if you're on full HP with morale. And then with resolve, you get increased damage when you are not on full HP. If you go to the attribute info there, you can easily see what all of these things do. If you just scale to the bottom, morale over there, higher the HP percentage, the higher the damage dealt. And then with resolve, the lower your HP, the higher the damage dealt. So since we're going to be at full HP pretty much all the time, we went ahead and picked up a little bit of morale. And then something that we spent way too much time testing yesterday on stream was this weapon thing right here. Apparently, if you have a greatsword and dual pistols equipped on her, that's like her preferred weapons. She gets a damage buff. We tried it, I think, with base weapons and stuff, and that does seem to affect it. But what is actually stronger than matching the correct weapon is getting a good weapon that's going to give you good buffs. For example, we have done a lot of testing, like I said yesterday on stream, incoming flashbang. Brought it over slowly so you guys could prepare for it. This is just a quick little test we did to try out the weapon to see which one actually ended up doing more damage. And we tested it by fighting level 50 Sibyl, as you can see in the background there. And we used one ultimate. So we didn't change. The only thing we changed was our weapon. We didn't change it in mod. So we always went in with the same stats. And every time you restart the fight, you get all of your sanity back. So you get like a full MP bar. So we went in there and we shot out one ultimate. So with the sword, this is the damage that we ended on. With the scythe, this is the damage we ended on. And you can see with the greatsword, there was actually the lowest damage out of all of them. The reason being because the sword effect, when you equip this sword, you actually end up getting 60% extra attack on your character. So we go up to like 900 pyro damage or something. It's pretty crazy. But then the scythe of it, that's the one we currently have equipped in the background. You can see our skill damage is getting 28.8% extra skill damage is from the scythe Wayne Wraith that we have equipped. And that is ultimately what ended up being the best. Go further down, the greatsword was like far behind these two. And then the sword level up, we tried to level up the sword to see if there was any difference in having the weapon level. So these are both swords. When we leveled it up, it seems like there's a very slight difference in leveling up the sword. This could also be like within margin of error with critting and stuff, because everything is not like a guaranteed crit. So that we left it that the leveling of weapons doesn't seem to actually affect anything. The only thing that affects like the abilities and stuff of the characters is the weapon skill itself, because the stats of the weapon, we tried putting demon wedge on it, we leveled the weapons up, that didn't seem to change anything. So the biggest thing to take away from weapons as like stat sticks on characters is just literally what the weapon skill is and what it gives to the character. If we go look down, so there's a sword level up, and then the last one, this is what we ended up getting. This was probably just like a really good run. We leveled up our scythe because we didn't have it maxed out, and you see compared to this run, actually did a significant more amount of damage, but that is also within like the region of crit differences. Like if we got like a really lucky run on this one, we got a ton of crits. So we left it up to that levels don't seem to really do much. However, just the weapon skill itself. So in saying that, after all this testing, the best weapons for her is going to be the Wayne Wraith. Pretty much the best weapon for any character using abilities is going to be the Wayne Wraith, because it gives you a massive amount of skill damage. We do have this at 1 smelt already. We're farming up the rest of them now to go ahead and smelt it. Because when you smelt this and level it up, it increases the skill damage. I'm sure that's going to end at like 50% or something crazy once we actually have it fully leveled up and fully smelted up. And then the best range weapon is going to be the Augiesaint Duo. So this is another 24% skill damage, and when you go ahead and max this out, it's going to be even more skill damage again. If you go ahead and smelt it, you can see you smelt it, goes up to the 28.8. So it's literally exactly the same as a scythe. It's just the pistol version. But the catch with the Augiesaint Duo is you can only start getting this one at trial rank 51. So it's going to be quite a while before you get that. But the scythe you get, I think, around trial level 30. Pretty much by the time you finish the story, you will have the scythe. So just use the scythe and then the range weapon. It doesn't matter whatever you end up using. In the meantime, maybe you could go ahead and use this bow, because I believe the bow you also get from something in the quest. And this does give you a little bit of skill duration, which will then affect your ultimate. So it'll make it cost a little bit less. So you could go ahead and use the bow. We do have the skin on it, so it doesn't always look like this, but we did get that for free as well, I believe. But yeah, ultimately, these are the weapons you want. Augiesaint Duo, best gun for her. And then melee weapon will be the Wainwraith, best melee weapon for her, because both of them are just giving a massive amount of skill damage. So with that out the way, let's have a look at her demon wedges. We do have Prime Morale. This Prime mod is really strong, and if you're playing in a group, so like if you're not using your AI characters, what I would suggest switching this out for would be Prime Serenity. It does the same thing except for it changes the special effect down below. If you have a look over here, this restores additional sanity by 7 for you and your teammates every 3 seconds. How sanity works is you on base, you get 3 sanity every 3 seconds. But when you put this on, it will obviously add to that. So when you put this mod on, it will add to that, and you'll get 10 sanity per 3 seconds. But the thing with this mod is it doesn't actually stack. So if you run it and then both of your AI companions run it as well, it doesn't stack. So only one of you need to run it. I pretty much have it on all of my other characters, so I don't use it on her, and instead I go over to this one to gain the 18% increased damage from morale over there, since we will be at full health. And then moving on to Devouring Wildfire, this one is massive. You get skill damage and you also get a stacking attack buff, so you end up with 120 extra attack because you get 1% per stack, stacks up to 120, it lasts for 15 seconds, and all you have to do is deal damage with her, which you will be doing all the time. So this one is just massive amounts of damage. And then we go down to Blaze Eternity. This is again just extra damage and as well increased duration. That duration is going to make her ult cost a little bit less, so really good over there. I think the reason that effect exists is because this one is called the Blaze Eternity. You get some pets, like some of the Digimons, that actually increase your damage depending on how many mods you have with like certain names. So maybe if you find one with a boost for eternity, you just go ahead and stack a bunch of these and you end up doing a crazy amount of damage. We'll have to see once we actually get deeper into the pet game. So moving on, the next one we have is Inferno Midnight Sun. This is another great one. Pyro damage, skill damage, and duration. Duration again affecting our efficiency. Coming over to Blaze, this again is just straight up attack, max sanity. That's really good because you want to have a decent amount of sanity so you don't run out. And then we have there Pan's Volition. I don't know how to say that one, but yeah, it just gives you 24% flat skill damage, so really nice to have. And then lastly, we're going to be using Wings Inspo, where they just give us max sanity and skill efficiency. I was initially using just the flat out purple wings, which gives you 50 sanity, but by losing the efficiency over there, our ultimate actually ends up costing 2 sanity extra per drain. So instead of the 13 per second we have it at the moment, it goes up to 15 per second. So I felt like it's a little bit better getting this. And then for the last slot of there, we'll end up putting wings for the massive sanity pool boost, unless we can find another mod that does efficiency as well. But basically these 2 last slots are just going to be for efficiency because we've got enough damage from all the other ones. So the last 2, we really just try and get our efficiency up. And you don't need range on her as well because her ultimate just shoots so far. If you can have a look at it over here, it goes at 50 meters already. So I added the range mod before and it only went up to 65. Now 65 does sound good, but you're killing everything within the 50 meters anyway. So you might as well just save on that range and put it elsewhere, get increased sanity, like reduction, so efficiency and duration, so you can shoot for longer, because 50 meters is more than enough, I would suggest, against range. But that's pretty much what we're running on her. I showed you guys the weapons, I showed you the demon wedges, and then for teammate characters that we're using with her, I'm just using my Rebecca because she is insane. She does crazy amounts of damage. I'll drop her video pretty soon as well. We're trying to min-max her next. My jellies on her are ticking for like 10 to 13k a hit right now. They're doing crazy amounts of damage, so she's just free extra damage as an extra buddy. And then we do have a buffer by using the MC Vita. If you have a look at her skills down below, just this one at the bottom, you have to upgrade. I think you have to ascend to level 50 or maybe 60 to unlock this passive. but this one here is going to increase weapon damage for self and allies. And I'm pretty sure that stacks into our ultimate's damage with the weapon damage, so it's just a nice little boost. Plus she does have the shield and everything from the buff as well, giving you guys ultra shield. However, you can use whatever you want to buff. I believe she does a little bit of buff as well, Truffle and Filbert, and then Daphne also does some buffing, but I'm just using Rebecca because she's crazy by herself. We don't really need any buffs. And then we're using Vita Day for a little bit of increased weapon damage buff. Another thing before I leave you guys, if you want to know where to find any of these demon wedges, go check out my video that I posted yesterday. It'll be in the description down below on the YouTube channel. But basically the TLDR is you just come over to Demon Wedge Casket, you go to Demon Wedge Display, and you browse through here and you find any one that you're looking for. So like your Serenity over there, you can see there's a Serenity or Uplift. You literally just come down here, you click source, and then there it is. There's going to be from all these level 50 enemies. You can go ahead and attack any of those, and then you have a chance at getting the mods. But I did make a full breakdown video on the channel, so go check that out if you guys don't know where to get any of the mods from. So that is going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. If it helped you out, please drop a like and a sub on the channel. It helps me out so much, and I'll catch you beautiful people in the next one. Augiesaint out.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind cry